What's going on, you guys? Gervonta Tank Davis. I asked the question again. What's the end game for Tank? Boxing fans seem to get really sensitive when you state the obvious, right? Look, man, I'm not here to coddle your fucking feelings, bro. I'm not here to coddle your feelings at all. I'm just tell you straight like it is. Tank Davis at one particular time didn't seem to be interested in collecting belts. Then at one point in time, I believe around when he fought Teofimo George Kambosos was about to fight, I believe. He's either before that fight, right before that fight, or right after that fight. Tank Davis was outside the big old Suburban and whatever it was, and he said something about the belts not really meaning anything, and something to that degree, right? I'm sure some of you guys may have seen that clip. I think Ellie Seckbeck asked him the question. Fast forward to more recently when Devin Haney was going to face against George Kambosos. Well, Tank Davis seemed to be interested in collecting those belts. He even had a tattoo that said strap season on the back of his neck. Now, when he says strap, does he mean belts or does he mean pistols? I'm not sure. But whatever the case, Tank Davis now has come out with a tweet. Well, he's since deleted this tweet. But he came out with a tweet saying this. There's been 3 people undisputed in the last 6 or 7 months. Laughing emojis. What I'm going to do with them belts? Yo, be honest. Tell me. Give them to my kiss for school, end quote. Now, kiss, I'm sure he meant kids, right? And like I said, these guys, bro, they just be pressing, they just send anything out here. But we know what he meant. He said kids, right? Send it to my kids at school. I mean, this sounds familiar. We heard Errol Spence say something like this before when, before he really was going forward with this Crawford fight thing, right? He said, my kids don't eat off belts. He didn't seem too interested in getting that last belt to become undisputed at that particular time. Well, things have changed since then. But Tank Davis since deleted this tweet. He deleted the tweet. So maybe he received a lot of backlash. But, you got boxing fans out there paying attention to everything. Salute the Boxing Habit. He's the one that I seen this from. And then I went and actually do my own research, see if he actually tweeted this. And sure enough, the tweet has been deleted. Right? He deleted this tweet. For whatever reason, he deleted this tweet. It's not a good look for Tank, man. And like I said, man, I'm a fan of Tank Davis, but I'm sitting here waiting like, hey, bro, so what's good? Right? What's good? Like, what are we doing here? Devin Haney said you could be his mandatory. Devin Haney said you can come get them belts. You know how cool it looked? Tank Davis had all the fucking belts? On top of everything that he's doing in the sport. Some fans may be a little bit more honest and tell you that Tank Davis ain't really fought nobody. But if you're looking on the surface, Tank Davis is the star in the sport of boxing. And it would only look a lot better if he had all the fucking belts around him and shit, right? But Tank Davis don't seem to be interested in those belts. Now, it raises the question as if it wasn't Devin Haney that had the belts, if it was George Kambosos that still had the belts and Devin Haney wasn't even able to get the fight, will Tank Davis be interested in this strap season thing? It's crazy, crazy, crazy boxing shit, man. I mean, look, why delete the tweet, right? You ask the fans a question, but in all honesty, bro, like that stuff goes down in history books. Nobody's gonna remember you for how much money you really made. They're gonna remember the fights, right? They're gonna remember what you accomplished, the things that you've done, the opponents, the top names that you fought. That's what when we look back for the fighters of yesterday, we don't talk about how much fucking money they made. Right? That's not the first thing that comes in boxing fans' minds when they think about fighters of yesteryear, the warriors of yesterday. Nah, we think about the fights that they had and how great they were as men and as fighters. Right? That's what we talk about. We don't talk about how much money they made per fight and the cash cow, and that's some more modern boxing bullshit. Fans from back in the fans look at the fighters yesterday. Look, man, we don't know nothing about how much money he made like that, but what we do know, he was a bad mother. He was collecting belts. He was a champion. He was this. He's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, we remember those type of things, right? We don't remember how much money Sugar Ray had. Yeah, Sugar Ray was making big money early on in his career. He made money a lot throughout his career. We remember all that, but of course, that's not something fans really harp on. Fans don't really care about that. That's irrelevant, right? So, the next 20 years, are fans going to remember Tank Davis? Of course, what helps Tank though is that he's a pretty exciting fighter. He's a very exciting fighter, and he's a knockout guy. That's always going to sell, right? Guys like Ernie Shavers, rest in peace to the legend Ernie Shavers. He wasn't necessarily known to be a super champion, beating all these guys, but he was known as one of the hardest punchers in the history of boxing. Maybe Tank Davis could be considered one of the hardest punchers. But Ernie Shavers also fought some of the best heavyweights in boxing history, right? Tank Davis, well, we can't necessarily say that. And this is why we remember guys like Ernie Shavers, because of the opponents that he faced, the top guys that he's faced. Whether he lost or won, it didn't matter, right? So, yeah, man, I don't really know what the end game is for Tank Davis. When he was having this little riff with Floyd Mayweather, it seemed like he was thinking about going after the bigger fights and really, doing what he was supposed to do as a fighter, especially at this point of his career. He's closer to 30 now than he is to 20. And fans will be looking at Tank Davis to fight some of these more interesting, intriguing matchups where we just don't know if Tank's going to win going in. But Tank Davis, apparently he's re-signed with Floyd Mayweather Promotions, and now we back to square one all over again. But tell me what you guys think. Tank Davis deleted this tweet. Why did he delete it? I don't know. Leave it in the comment section if you think you know why. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.